do is I can visualize something about to happen to me. Like I can visualize a really sad emotion coming on, and I like to think of my emotions as the ocean, because the ocean, my dad's really passionate about the ocean, and he tells me an ocean is like a woman. It's so beautiful, but it's really unpredictable, which is 100% true. I mean, kia ora. But anyways, and I was like, oh yeah, he's right, like the ocean's really calm and beautiful, but sometimes it can be bloody rough and it can be really nasty, and so I try to visualize my emotions as the ocean. So my mind as a whole is the ocean, and when I feel not right in my heart, and now I'm able to connect my mind to my heart, but when I feel not right, I feel a negative thought coming, I picture it as a wave. And you know how a wave it's not an ocean, and it doesn't just go poof. It forms, it slowly forms, and I can see it, like I visualize it slowly forming, and then I have to quickly find something to distract myself to keep busy, whether it be going to the gym, going for a walk, start cleaning the house, start cleaning the windows, vacuuming, washing the car, hanging washing, anything. Like that's just normal everyday stuff, but I have to quickly think of something to distract myself, because otherwise I'm going to sit and I'm going to ponder and I'm going to focus on that wave forming, and that wave is going to form, and when it hits and I can't come back from that wave crashing, and I just have to sit there, and it really destroys me for a while, and I can't afford to do that, because I've got, sorry, I'm clicking my pen and it's really annoying. I can't afford to feel like that anymore, because number one, I'm 100% sick of it, and number two, I have my son. My son's 2 years old now. I have my son who depends on me for everything, and if I can't take care of him, then who am I? Because he defines me. My son, he really defines me. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my son. So this is the very least I could do for my son, was figure it all out, and because with my baby, he really vibes off of whatever mummy feels. So if mama is sad and she's trying to hide it, he goes, all right mama, all day long, and that's just not fair, man. That's just selfish play, and I can't do that to my baby. So when I can see this wave forming really slowly, it's forming, it's come back out and it's coming back, and they're not just waves, okay? It's like a full-on tsunami, like a mental image of a tsunami, and when it hits. So when I can see that forming, I really have to try and distract myself from it hitting. So I get up, I simply get up, and I just move, and before I know it, it's not even there anymore. Like it's fully gone back to a nice, calm, beautiful ocean. And I've got into that habit of just always staying busy, and that's where I started working out quite a bit, and it's been really, really good for me. Like I'm really proud of how far I've come. I've just had to learn to balance my taha hinengaro from taha tinana, and just be able to acknowledge when those times are happening, and just accept them. And sometimes whānau, I'll even ride the wave. Like I'll just let it happen. Like a couple Mondays ago, not last Monday, the Monday before, I woke up and I just was real tangiweto, and I couldn't help it, and it was the first time I had been real tangiweto since my time of depression, and I didn't want to ignore it, and I didn't want to just sweep it under the rug. I didn't want to deny it. I didn't want to do any of that anymore. I just wanted to accept that it was happening. You're just grieving. You don't have to grieve every day, but you'll always grieve in your heart. But sometimes you have to release those emotions, and that Monday, I couldn't hold it back, and I cried all day, whānau. I cried at the gym, I cried at the supermarket. I held it back until I dropped my baby off. That Monday, rode that wave, whānau, and I'm glad I did, because it's just natural for me to feel these ways sometimes, and now that I know how to cope, I'm not so angry about it. Like, I'm more acceptable about it. I accept it more. And I just rode that wave, and I rode it all day, right up until about 3 o'clock. I stopped crying, and I felt great after that day. But it was a real bad day, and after the ocean was calm again and flat, I was like, oh, that felt good to just cry, just accept it, acknowledge it, cry as much as you can, and then carry on, because life goes on. And this is the first time I've actually spoken about this on a deeper level, but there was a lot more to it, to my depression. But at the end of the day, these are obstacles that e te atua, or whoever you believe that is greater, the universe, e te atua, lays down for us, because what doesn't kill you, it really does make you stronger. And I'm proud to say that I have gone through those things, and I'm still going through them. It'll never leave me. It's always going to be in my heart. But as long as I can keep living and do the best that I can do, and work on me and become the best version of myself, and make my babies proud and my parents proud, and most of all myself proud, then we're doing it, whānau. We're living way better than paying for a complete random to listen to me. So why not just grab your phone, set it up, start talking, write a few things down, and who knows, you might get somewhere. And I'm really grateful for this, for being able to sit and chat and have an audience listen to me, and the aim behind this kaupapa and behind this whole, hopefully there's someone out there who's going through exactly the same thing, or not even, and we can relate to one another, and we can chat and build relationships, and talk about our struggles and share with each other, share our ideas with each other on how we deal with these emotions. And maybe it's just always nice to put it out there and just get it off your chest. For me, off my chest into the camera. So thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions or whatever, just send them through, and who knows. So thank you. This is so weird. Okay, I'm just gonna end this video right now. So ka kite anō.